All right, this is another video I wasn't planning on doing necessarily, but I was scrolling through YouTube and I saw that majority of the people that I follow have their own lubrication video, so I figured I should probably create a lubrication YouTube video as well. I'm going to run through all these different lubrications, which I've used all of them and more than this, but if I didn't have an actual sample of the product on hand, I didn't include it in this video. So this is just going to be what I've used and what I actually have on hand. So first I'll start with Ballistol. Ballistol is a good product. I don't really have any major issues with it. The main ingredient here is, I don't know if I can get it to show. The main ingredient is mineral oil. So it's not necessarily not food safe. However, if there's some kind of propellant in this can in order to make it an aerosol can, I would have to assume that there's some kind of distillate in here, and I would assume that it's not food safe. So if that's a breaking point for you, you're probably not gonna like this product. So it does a decent job. Like I said, it's basically mineral oil in a spray aerosol can. It works fine. It does an okay job. It doesn't have a strong odor, nothing like that. It says no carcinogens, biodegradable. Again, the main ingredient is mineral oil, but this does have to have some kind of propellant in it to make it an aerosol can. So I would be kind of skeptical if food safe is something that is a make or break deal for you. Next up, and I've got several of their products here, so I guess I should really include all of them, but this is Tough Glide, and this is a dry lubricant, so it's a little bit of a different thing from the other products that I have listed here. I've got Tough Glide, I've got Smooth Coat, which again is a dry gun lubricant, quote unquote. I've got the High Slip Grease, and I have the Tough Cloth. So all of these products are made by the same company. All of them are dry lubricants. They work okay. They have a very strong odor. I feel like I have to continue to reapply them for them to work. They're not food safe at all. Again, decent product, nothing really wrong with it, but this would not be in my top 3 picks. Does work very well for rust prevention. I guess I should mention that. The next thing that I would bring up would be the Ezox, which there was a study done, not a study, that might be too strong of a word. There was a experiment of sorts done on the USN. If you're not familiar with USN, that's Usual Suspect Network. Pretty big forum, large family, great place to check out. If you're not aware of it, you should go check it out. And if at all possible, please join. There was a study done there on this, though, a experiment done on this, and it showed that out of many common lubricant protectants, that this was towards the top. Again, this is not food safe. It does have a very strong smell, but it does work okay as a lubricant. It doesn't really get sticky. It doesn't really dry out. Doesn't really get gummy, but it is a little bit of something you'll need to continue to reapply in order for you to really feel the full effect, in my experience. It also comes in a can here like this. I've also used this. This is about halfway empty. Again, it's a great rust preventative. I've had lots of good luck with that. Next up, I will talk about Fire Clean, and I know that there's been some controversy, not recently, but in the past, about Fire Clean. To the best of my knowledge, this is food safe, and you can see here, non-flammable, non-combustible, no chlorine, VOCs, or carcinogens. So to the best of my knowledge, this is food safe. I don't really have anything bad to say about it. I primarily use this on my guns. It does tend to get a little bit gummy. I would not really use it in something that I wanted to keep smooth and fluid like a knife action, because in a gun, this heats up, it thins out, it doesn't really gum up. But in something that doesn't warm up like a knife pivot, I feel like this is going to be a little bit sticky. So I wouldn't use this for a knife. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I also use this primarily to clean my knives, my guns, excuse me. It works well for that. No complaints whatsoever. Finally, well, next to last, I'll talk about Frog Lube. I really don't care for this product. I know a lot of people do. I haven't used the liquid. I've only used the paste. I had about 10 of these tubes here. You have to heat well, you don't have to, but they suggest that you heat the metal up or the surface up that you're going to apply this to. And that's a little bit of work that I would rather not have to do. None of these other products require that. I also find that this gets a little bit sticky and a little bit gummy. It's kind of thick, so I find that it slows the action down. However, it does provide a protective coat, and it would be something good for a rust preventative, or maybe if I was going to put something in storage for a period of time, this would be something that I might consider. But I wouldn't personally use this for knives, and that's specifically what this video is about. Maybe I would use this product if I wanted to coat a blade, like the actual blade, not the action, but the blade itself, to prevent it from rust. But again, they suggest that you warm the metal, so you're going to be adding an extra step there. So finally, we come to what my preferred product would be, which is Nano Oil. And to the best of my knowledge, this is food safe. I have not been able to find out that it is not. It comes in several different weights and several different types. For example, this here is Nano Grease. It's very thick. It's like a bearing grease. We have the 85 weight Nano Oil here, and we have the 10 weight Nano Oil here. I would probably use, well, not probably, I would use 10 weight Nano Oil in something that has a lighter blade. I use this a lot in my slip joints if I want to flush a joint, or in like a Spyderco Paramilitary 2, something that has a fairly light blade, not too robust, something that I just want to be able to get in there and lubricate very easily. Also, if I don't want to take a knife apart, this oil is thin enough where it will get down into the crevices, and you can lubricate something very well without taking it apart. I know that some people are going to say you don't have to take a knife apart to lubricate it. I do prefer to take my knives apart, clean them, and lubricate them while they're apart to make sure that every piece that I want to be lubricated does have adequate lubrication on it. Personal preference. I don't think there's a right or wrong way to do it, but this is something that I can use and not have to take that knife apart. So it saves me a few steps. 85 weight Nano Oil. This would be something that I would use on a heavier bladed knife like a Strider, or like on a detent ball or detent track. This is very viscous. It stays in place. It's not going to go anywhere. So this is something that you want to use if you want to lubricate something and you want the oil to stay there. The reason why I wouldn't use this on something like a Paramilitary 2 is because it is viscous and it does slow down the action of something with a lighter blade. Same thing, if you put this on a knife that was assembled, it's not going to creep into the crevices like this 10 weight would. So that's the differences between these two. The Nano Grease is way too thick to use in and of itself. I would not use this product by itself personally. I have heard some people say they use it on things like Chris Reeve knives, but I primarily mix this with the 10 weight here to come up with my own type of mixture formula, and I will use this on certain Striders of mine and or other knives of a similar type. So you can mix these products together, and they do recommend that, they do suggest that, and it is something that kind of can give you your own type of end product. So all these products are okay. It depends on, you know, if you're looking for something food safe, if you're looking for something that's not food safe. However, at the end of the day, my preferred product is the Nano Oil. And one last thing I'll say before I go, I know people will look at this and they'll say, but Nano Oil is expensive. I don't want to spend the money. I don't think it's any better than 3-in-1 oil. I find this to be the best oil that I have used in any application. I don't know about their nanotechnology claims. However, what I do find is that over time of applying this product, I don't seem to have to reapply it as frequently as other products that I have used. Also, what I'll say is a little bit goes a long way. As I've mentioned, I use this product to flush out my traditional slip joints. I use it on my lighter blade knives like a paramilitary 2 or a Delica or something of that nature. And I've had this bottle of oil for probably 3 or 4 years, and I've used it extensively. If you know anything about flushing the pivot of a traditional knife, you know that can take a fair amount of oil. I don't spare any oil. I probably over apply oil. I'm heavy handed on everything. And this bottle is still pretty much half full. And I think that's being generous. I think it's probably a little bit more than half full. So yes, this bottle here, which is a half an ounce, is $26 with free shipping from St. Clair. But after 3 years of using this without sparing, without rationing, without considering how much I'm using, I still have over half a bottle, or at least half a bottle of this oil. So you get what you pay for like anything else. Yes, it is an investment up front. However, I find that I don't use as much of this over time as I do of the other products. And the same thing here. I bought the 85 weight around the same time I bought the 10 weight, and you can see it's over half full, clearly over half full. And I've had this for easily 2, 3, 4 years as well. So Nano Oil would be my preferred product. Comment below what you think about this video. Comment below about what you think about knife lubrication. I know some of my hardcore strider guys are going to say, well, where's the WD-40 at? I didn't include that here. I do have some WD-40. However, I find that WD-40 tends to dry out. And it does attract a lot of grime and dirt. So that's not my preferred method. But please feel free to share your method with me. Thank you, and I hope to see you in the next video.